Good morning, Jim Hodges here, Hunter here. Hunter is a going on 11-month-old Beagle pup. He was here for our board and train or our residency program for 2 weeks. He's done a great job. He is a Beagle. What is a Beagle defined for, or any of the hounds for that matter? Sense of purpose. They like to smell. They get on a scent, on a trail, and by golly, everything goes by the wayside. Their job is to focus on that scent and to track their prey to its completion. They love to smell. Guess what? That tends to make them a little stubborn and sometimes a little hard to control. Well, we can prevent that. We have to become the leader. There are going to be times that we're going to allow him to exercise those rights and prerogatives, but when we're on a walk, when we're asking him to do things, he needs to learn to ignore those smells and to concentrate on us as a leader. We as a leader need to be very calm, positive, praiseful, and let him know when he's doing what we ask, okay? So the very first thing, today we have 3 cats around us. So the cats may be testing, but he's got to do what we ask. If he tends to break away from that, you're going to see me bite him. And when I say bite, that is a means of consequence. We're not here to intimidate, dominate, break a spirit, or hurt him in any way, okay? We're just here to redirect and bite as one dog, hopefully the mom as a pup to the puppy would do, okay? And then we're going to praise afterwards. There are definitely different ways or specific ways that we bite when he does something wrong. The biggest, or when he does right, there are ways to praise. The thing that we want to do when we first start training is to do our best to do them in the moment, okay? So the very first thing I'm going to do is let's go. Let's go. Hear that tone? Good boy. When he starts to do what we ask, we're good. We want to let him know. That's a good boy, Hunter. I'm not using a treat right now, but I could, especially if it was a learning endeavor. Let's go. He thought I was going to stop. Good boy. Atta boy. Now, on our let's go, he needs to be here or right here behind us. We do not want him in front. For a Beagle to be in front allows him to be caught up in the world and the smells and the scents and the prey drives and things like that. When he's in front, he's going to react to that. When we're right here beside him, as I was requesting, we're part of a checks and balance to it. The other thing when a dog is in the lead, they're leading. We're the leaders. We control the walk. We control what we're doing. And Beagles need a lot of exercise. They need to get their frustrations, their scent work. They need to get all of that exercise to the point that they can fit well living inside the home. And they're very good. The biggest thing that we have with Hunter here is he loves people. He loves other dogs and things like that. He gets excited and starts to want to jump on people or bark, okay? We're going to bite that bark just like I did there, okay? He stopped what he was doing. Good boy. Let's go. Sit. Hand signal for sit is just like that. Atta boy. Now sit means sit. He's got to stay in that sit until I release him. Okay, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. He has to stay in the sit. If he was to start to get up, I would tap the leash straight up to the sky. I would go, no, sit. Let's go, I would tap the leash in the direction I want him to go. So if he was in front of me, I would tap back, okay? Every time I bite or provide a consequence, no, sit, then I come back and provide a modicum of praise. I always want to praise after a bite, just not as much as if he would do it right the first time. I don't like to keep a dog in a sit for a long time because I hate the pressure that it puts on their rear end. So I'll typically do no more than a minute or two. Break. Break is my release. Did you hear the tone? Let's go. Good boy. Sit. Good. So the next thing is, remember we're going to tap up, will be the DOWN command. Down. Atta boy. So that's the hand signal for down from the front. If he did not do it, we would tap the leash, not 90 degrees straight down, but at a slight angle towards the ground. We're going to tap it, snap it, tell him no, and then repeat the command down and praise him. Now, down command, unlike the sit, he can stay there for as long as we want him. That's a comfortable position. I normally tell people that if we're going to keep him there for more than a couple of minutes, we give him the stay command. Stay command is pack your bags, dude, you're going to be there for a while. Just the normal down means down. And if he started to smell the ground, down, we're going to check that behavior, okay? So I bid him for smelling. Now, if I told him to stay, and that may have potentially had something to do with it. But if I told him to stay, then he could be allowed to smell. It's just that when we tell him down or sit, he needs to be watching normally for the command that we're going to go to. The other thing about down is it's normally the most submissive command a dog performs for its owner, okay, or for its leader. By him downing at will for us is teaching him that he's willing to give us our leadership role that we want, as long as we're consistent, we're positive, we're calm, and we know what we're doing or act like we know what we're doing anyway, okay? Break. Let's go. Now sit. Now from the side, down. Good boy. A little slow. If he did that next time that slow, I would bite him to the ground. So what am I going to do? I'm going to repeat it again. Break. Let's go. Why am I going to repeat it? Sit. Down. Good. Good boy. Break. Down. Thank you. Sit. Good boy. I test these things and work these things with him to get him to the point that he knows to respond. So he can do this out on our walks. Break. When we go for our walks, it's important that we practice obedience with him, okay? He needs to know that the walk is ours. Personally, I wouldn't allow him to smell the ground, although that instinct is so strong. When we're on a walk, it's our walk. He sits, he downs, he comes. He walks politely by ourselves, maybe by our sides, or even do the heel command. We can find a point for him to allow him to smell in certain areas. We get to that area, we break him, let him smell, tell him to smell, whatever, and he'll be a happy camper. Break. Let's go. The next command is the place command. The place command is where we tell him to get on his bed. He can lay down, sit down, stand up. We're not going to give him a command when he's on the place except for the place. You notice I pointed to it? Good boy. And I praised him. Attaboy. As soon as he got on the bed, okay? So powerful. Now he can do this for a couple hours at a time. I could give him one of our antlers, a bone, a chew toy, and he's allowed to chew that when he's on the bed. This is a real good way for those with real hectic, busy lifestyles to have their puppy with them in the room, but you being able to relax and be in control at the same time. Got a squirrel right over there and a squirrel right over there. He keeps watching. We're not going to stop that instinct, people. All we're going to do is manage it, okay? That's important to know. And get him to the point. Let's see if I can. Break. Let's go. And get him to turn on. Come on. Good boy. Sit. Good boy. So, break. Treats. Treats are great for our dogs, especially when we're using treats to teach a command. I will use a treat an awful lot. Once a dog knows what I want, then I may not give it. When I give a treat, first of all, sit. Good boy. I'll give him a treat, attaboy, and pet and love all at the same time. Break. Okay? Once he knows what I want, as I said, I'm not going to be leading or teasing or bribing with the treat unless it's a new command. If I want to give him a treat, I'll do just like I did then. I'll have the treat in my hand. He doesn't know it's coming. I'll tell him the command. When he does it, I'll come in and give him the treat and pet and love. I call it manna from heaven, okay? He's not working for the treat. He's working because I told him to, but it's a way to reward him. We can use a toy just as well as with the treat. The one thing that I will do with the treat almost all the time for 200 or 300 times in a row is the off-leash come. Remember, off-leash for him is in his fenced-in backyard or in the house right now, okay? But typically the come command off-leash, I try to get my dog's attention, okay? I get my dog's attention. I show him that I have a treat, but I'm not telling him to come. Why? Because when he's at one end of the yard and he's digging, and we talked about digging, or he's watching butterflies or smelling the ground, and I ask him to come, and he's so enveloped with whatever he's doing and doesn't come, he just learned that come is not powerful. Come is not something he has to do when he's a certain distance away. So what I will normally do is go, Hunter, hey buddy, Hunter, hey buddy, come. Good boy. When he committed to coming to me, break, I praise him, okay? I know that sounds crazy, but when he starts to come to me, he's already made the decision to come to me. If I've been working with him with a treat and toy and a lot of love, he knows there's going to be good things at the end. So when he's committed to running to me, he's in a very happy place. Endorphin release, the warm fuzzies, whatever you want to call it, that's when I tell him to come. When he gets to me, I'm going to praise him and love him, and then I'm going to release him. I'm never ever going to tell him to come off leash and provide discipline. I'm never going to tell him to come to me off leash and then take him and put him up because I got to go to work. I'm always going to take that moment to come and praise him and love him and then release him. Then if I have to go to work, I'll make sure I've separated the come from the command. He did a great job. We love him. About a minute later, I may hook him up or say, okay, buddy, I got to go to work. But we don't want it to reflect the come command. That's the way we're going to get come to be as reliable as we can get it to do it. Okay, now on leash, we can tell him to come. Why? Because we can control the outcome. And doing obedience on leash is a great way to get our dog to obey us in the moment so we can praise, or if he disobeys us, to provide consequence. By doing obedience in the moment, it allows us to tell him, good boy, praise and touch, or or no, and bite, or a spray bottle, or whatever it's going to be for the consequence. And he starts to learn in the moment what that word no means again, what good boy means, okay? So we do that, then it starts to help us in other areas of behaviors in life, like jumping on the couch, counter surfing, jumping on people, barking. So that's the reason obedience is so good for behaviors as well. All right, buddy, let's go. Sit. Good. So now I'm going to do the COME command. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reel the leash in. When I give him the command, I'm going to give him a hand signal. And I'm not even going to use a treat. Come. He comes. I reel in the leash. He sits. Good boy. And a boy. Break. Good boy. So now I might give him a treat. Hey, play. Good boy. Break. Okay, so when he came to me and sat. Now, why would we give a consequence, or when would we give a consequence? If I told him to come and he didn't start to come to me, or he started going off path, I would tap the leash straight back to me and tell him, no, with the tap, come. Okay? Then when he comes to me, say he even came to me straight, and he came right to me and did not sit, because the end of the come on leash is to sit, then I would tap up and tell him, no sit. After every consequence, what am I going to do? I'm going to come back and reassure him that I'm a sound leader and that I'm not going to hold a grudge, okay? I'm going to tell him, good boy. When he does something wrong, he's just telling us that he doesn't know how. Most of the time, he's telling us he doesn't know what we're asking him to do. In the beginning, of course, it could be because he's been doing something all his life and would rather do that than listen. But we do build a relationship when we're consistent. We do build a relationship when we're really happy and positive, and let him see that we're happy and enjoy working together. We bite him, we get it over with, and we move on. Okay? Let's go. The other thing is, Hunter can be allowed on furniture at times, okay? I personally believe that for us to be the proper leader, he shouldn't be able to get on the furniture unless we command him to, okay? If he gets on the furniture when we don't command him to, it's not get off, it's no, or and we bite him off till he hits the ground, and then we praise him. Here comes Lovey. Let's see. Good boy. See how he looked away? He's sort of interested, sort of disinterested. Good boy. So to get on the furniture or to load up in the car, we can use the same command. Sit. Right. Hop. Attaboy. And as soon as he gets on, we praise. I gave him a treat then. Right. I don't mind giving treats. If you're one of those owners that like to give treats, fine. But be prepared. If he doesn't hide the treat. Don't let him know he's working for a treat. If he does what we ask, give him that treat and love him and pet him. But if he doesn't, we still need to provide the consequence. So now we have the load up or the hup command. Any of these commands at this point in time with a little bit of work can be changed. to be the word that you want. Another thing we have with Hunter is, okay, Hunter, sit. Okay, and I'm going to try, I don't have a treat in my hand, but proper. Attaboy. Break. I can't take the credit for that. Our owners did. All I did was that proper command used to be sit proper. So sit. He used to automatically come up into the beggar position. All I did was make sit, sit, and proper, proper, proper. Come on, proper. Come on, proper. Now proper. Come on, you can do it. We're going to have to do it again. Break. So we're going to have to do that again now. Sit. Proper. Proper. Good boy. Let's go. Sit. Proper. Attaboy. So you notice I didn't give him a treat the first time because I had to repeat myself. I'm not going to give him a wonderful treat once he knows what we do unless he does it right the first time. When he's learning and he's trying, I may give him a treat. Okay, so pretty much I think we've got everything down but the heel command. The heel command is a command where we have our dog in an imaginary box right beside us. That can be for a walk, it can be downtown, it can be anything we want. But our goal is to keep him in the box and him stay in that box, okay? So when we increase speed, he may momentarily come out of the box, but it's his job to speed up to get back in the box. When I start making turns, he may have to speed up to catch up with me. Our job is to help him get into that box. When I stop, he sits automatically. Hand signal is like this. Oh, and by the way, I can't remember. Stay hand signal is like that, okay? Place I point, hup I point, all right? So here we go. Short leash right here by our side, heel. So we stop, heel. Good boy. So he sits automatically, heel. I can turn, he's coming right back into the box. We stop, he sits, heel. Turn around. Now I would not stop in a turn because he can't sit properly in the box. I always will come out of the turn, attaboy. So he has a way to finish successfully. That's pretty good with the cats around and the squirrels around. I'm real happy with that. Break. The thing that you need to do is our dogs and us are always a work in progress. We're not perfect, we're going to make mistakes, but it's our job to continually try to see where we can get with our dogs so we can enjoy them in real life. I'm a firm believer that a lot of rescue dogs would have never been in a rescue environment if owners such as hunters would have taken some time, not even dealing with a professional, but taken some time to teach their dogs some manners and rules so that they can enjoy it. All right? Does it take a lot of work? But it does take some work. It takes a little bit of time, but it can be a fun time. Of course, if anybody ever has any questions, and if Hunter's family ever has any questions, follow-ups are for free. All I ask you to do is come to me. All you got to do is call me, Jim Hodges Dog Training, 336-945-3232. Of course, you can find me on Facebook under Jim Hodges Dog Training. You can find me at my website, jimhodgesdogtraining.com. Okay? Thank you so much and take care. Break. Good boy.